All right. Good evening, everyone. First, I will share the. Okay, maybe I'll just do that later. Sorry. All right. Good evening. My name is Faithful Aja. Once again, I am a data scientist and tech integrations manager at Strigate Schools. So it's really, really good to be with all 15 of you here this evening. And we're going to be speaking on a very, very, very important topic. Actually, we've had various people request that we speak on this particular topic because of the generation we are in and because of how important it is to be at the forefront of these things when it comes to um, protecting our child, protecting our children, when it comes to managing them in terms of what they watch, things they do online. So that is why we are here today. So our topic quickly is setting up parental controls without breaking trust. Why these are two different um, things we would want to speak about. First off is trust and also setting up parental controls. It's really important to set up parental controls for your children on their devices. It could be on their devices, it could be on the internet service you use at home, it could be on the different apps you know they are likely to frequent. Now, it's really important to set up parental controls, but the other part we should not also forget is the part of breaking trust, because you do not also want your children to start hiding things from you. You want them to still be able to come to you when they see or when they have certain issues. So that's what we'll be focusing on today. Let's jump right in. All right. So why does it matter? So children obviously are growing up online. According to the from the poll we shared together, we could see that a lot of people have complained. At least 60% of us here complain that we have their children have too much screen time. Their children are very active online, and maybe it's could be a bit of a concern for them. And because they are very exposed to their devices, they are exposed to risks like harmful content online, potential addiction. I've had we had some people come to a robotics center sometime, and they came to complain about how their children are struggling with addiction. While they want the children to learn things about tech, they want the children to learn the technical side of things. They're also trying to keep the balance. They try to keep the balance. They don't want the children to get addicted or to, you could see people, especially with our generation now, you see children, maybe it could be Roblox, it could be even programming, it could be things that would otherwise maybe look like they are productive, but you see, do not want them to be addicted for their, both for their health and for their extracurricular activities, should be able to interact with people as well and not just with their devices. And then cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is something that started very long time ago, and of course, it's still happening till now. So we see people complain about people online, strangers online, saying hurtful and harmful things to their children. We also see people say things like how we also had another case where a parent complained that a stranger online was asking his child for his father's bank details. So that's those are real risks. These are things we face every day. These are things we need to be proactive about while treating with dealing with our children. We need to be proactive in handling these cases before these scammers get to them. We need to have been there first. So, what's the goal of this? Of all this, the goal here is to achieve safety and guidance without resorting to invasive spying on our children. We need to be able to mitigate these risks without being shady about it, without being with, while making them understand how important it is that we do what we do. So, what are common parenting mistakes we make online? One very common mistake is total surveillance, monitoring every single click, Um, to speak on this a bit, it's a case of when you take away the trust from your child, you take away the trust factor. So while of course I'm not going to be speaking very deeply about these parts, it's important for us to know that while it is important to put blockers or to monitor what they do, it's also important that we do this in their trust. We ensure that, because yes, these children are actually very smart. We do not want them to we don't want it to get to the situation where they are now trying to be smart about the things they do online. We want to be transparent with them so that whenever they face these issues, like the issue of the guy that his dad was asking for his, say, stranger was asking for his dad's bank details, they should be able to come to us with these things and not be scared to do that. They should be able to come to us and not feel like we are going to be judgmental to them, or um, we are going to be angry at them. So, which is why transparency is very important. Allowing unrestricted access is the other extreme. So aside total surveillance, unrestricted access without any guidance is also the other extreme. We need to also find the fine line in the middle, somewhere not somewhere between monitoring them and not micromanaging them, not monitoring too much. Secret monitoring. Well, some people would say this one is arguable because while we want to say do not monitor them in secret, there are some edge cases where you would want to do that, but it's also it's an argument, it's a mistake. But yes, I feel like it's an arguable one. Then punishments, using digital controls as a disciplinary tool, it's also something we also do not want to do, because then again, it's like when people say when you tell a child not to do something, then suddenly that becomes the attractive thing for them to do. So we should. I'm not speaking about parenting here because I know our parents have more experience than me in that. So, but these are common mistakes we usually want to talk to people about first before going ahead to show them how to set up blockers for their children. So, what are parental controls? Parental control tools are tools designed for guidance and digital well-being. They are a way to support healthy habits and balance, a safety net to filter inappropriate content. So, first off, while saying what they are, we also need to understand that parental controls, while we can see parental there, it's not strictly just for parental controls. We see people who also set up parental controls for themselves. It could be you trying to focus at work. It could be you trying to not get distracted. Maybe you're trying to. There's a tool I use, Pomodoro, where I'm trying to focus, and for a certain say 20 minutes, I'm locked in and focus, and then for the next 5 minutes, I'm free to do something else, and the next 20 minutes again. She does a control tool, and it is also useful for me without a child. So parental control, it's also very useful for individuals who are looking to control themselves, and also for parents who are looking to support healthy habits and balance with their children. So it's a safety net, something that is built to mitigate the concern of parents as to what their children are doing online and how to protect them from danger. What they are not a tool for absolute control or domination. They are not a replacement for active, involved parenting. It is very important that while we do parental control, it's very important that we also are active parents and not just depend on technology to do our parenting for us. It's not a substitute for open and honest conversations. So we should not be shady about it. Trust comes before technology. I think we've spoken well on the fact that before doing all this, we need to first have the conversations. There need to be clear expectations. We should define those expectations from our children, so we give them some sort of responsibility as to taking care of themselves on their own. There should be mutual respect and freedom. We should be able to give them certain boundaries and be clear about the boundaries they shouldn't cross. So, some rules to set together before we now go into setting up the actual blockers. First off, I think this should be a practice we should all do together with the children. We should look at screen time limits. We should all agree on daily maximums for entertainment. And when we agree on that, so that when we now go ahead to put that in the parental control, it's they could tell that this was agreed upon. So we said your screen time limit is going to be, say, 3 hours in a day. And if we say 3 hours in a day, and then we set that on all their devices, when their 3 hours is done, they do not feel like we are punishing them. They understand that they've done their limit. We should also set rules on allowed apps and websites. We should whitelist educational safe content. If you've been to, I know with the schools now, sorry, with the schools now, I know we've been able to put a whitelist for websites they can access while on the school internet. But even at home, we should also have something for ourselves, which is what's part of what we'll be learning to do today. Then device-free times, there should be time zones, like times where we should not use devices. We practice this one. I still practice this one at home, where we say, oh, when it is dinner time, when it is bedtime, we should absolutely not be using our devices. And then consequences for breaking rules. So it is important we also have consequences so that everyone is clear. And when they face the consequences, they do not feel like we are just trying to be wicked or anything. So what are the tools that parents can use? There are different types of tools you can use. There are different levels to how you can set up safety and parental control. First is you could either use parental control apps on your devices. So for Android devices, it's Google Family Link, and for iOS devices, Apple Screen Time is a very good one too. So Jeff will go deeper into the steps for you to create your parental control on whatever devices you might be using, and we can take questions. And if you're facing any issues, we'll talk about it. Then router level controls. I think router level controls, especially at home, would be a bit, it might be, well, very, very helpful because you could, setting this up means once they're connected to the home internet, the home Wi-Fi, they would be, you are sure they are being protected. But if it were on their devices, maybe there's ways they could go around it. I mean, we have very, very tech savvy little children nowadays. Then ISP blockers are also network-based filters. With these, you can even monitor the traffic from wherever you are. It could be from your office place or wherever you are. So it's a very good one as well. Then how do we introduce controls? To the children, we explain the why. We focus on why it is safe for them. We focus on why they need to have less screen time so that they can sleep and balance, and we're not doing this because we do not trust them. We should not install spyware. We need to tell them what they're using, because when we are being secret, if they do find out, then they do not trust us again. And then we should invite them for feedback. We should ask how it feels, always have feedback sessions where we discuss what is working and what is not working. So what are the signs that our controls are working well? Before, I want us to quickly go into setting it up, for setting up one type of control that we can all start using. So the signs they are working well is there's less conflict. So for the 60% people who complain that the children are having very plenty screen time, hopefully by our next tech webinar, the complaints will be maybe the numbers drop to like 30, 40%, then we know that something is working right. Conversations are now more open. You're able to have meaningful conversations with them. They are not just locked in on their screen. They are also active physically. There's responsible use of their devices. We are respecting limits, and the child comes to you voluntarily with online issues. So how you know you're doing something right, how you know your controls are working very well, is when your child is actually able to be transparent with you. They're able to come to you and say, oh, somebody is trying to ask me for sensitive information about you. Sensitive information. I don't think this is right, Daddy. What do you think? That's when you know we're doing something right. Then when do you need to adjust, and when do you need to relax these controls? When your child is growing when you are seeing better judgment. Some people would say, well, when they're up to like 16 or 18, when they become teenagers, full adults. So those are times when you need to start trusting them more, and you need to, well, start stepping a bit back on the controls, because at some point it will feel, I mean, at some point they will even know more technology than you might be able to catch up with anyways. So it's also important for us to know when to adjust and relax those controls. And when you've earned their trust, we need to also slowly start removing those restrictions so it doesn't become overbearing on them.
Is there any timings?
So our key takeaways are these.
There's
Safety.
time. I don't have the leaves.
Okay, sorry.
Tell me what the time is. Is it little?
All right, thank you. Okay. So what are our key takeaways now are that safety and trust can coexist. You do not have to choose one over the other. Technology supports parenting. They're actually tools, and we will go into this in the future editions of our webinars. There are various tools that can support you as a parent. So technology is not the enemy. It just needs better handling. And communication is key. It is very important to communicate when you are trying to do your parental control setups. This is very important. The children are aware as well. So I'm going to hand over to Jeffrey, and Jeffrey is going to walk us through one type of setup that we can all do, so that we would be able to set up these parental controls for our children. And before that, if you have any questions, if there's any part you feel like I need to speak more on, please do not hesitate to just raise up your hand and we'll take your questions. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Faithful, for that very impactful session. I believe people have questions. I would just leave a little bit of time for anyone who has questions to put them forward before I proceed with the steps on how to set up these controls on your words devices and 3 different levels. So any questions? Any questions? Okay, in the absence of questions at the moment, I would want to proceed to show you how to set up certain protective measures on the devices of your work. So one very, very important and simple one that I always use is Firewall AI. But before I get there, I would love to share my screen so that I put you through the details I think you should understand when setting these things up. Hello, can you see my screen? Hello?
Yes, we can see your screen, Jeffrey.
Okay, awesome. So, as regards to setting up parental controls without breaking trust, it is important that you understand safety and guidelines first. Now, children growing up on the internet, yes, the internet is like their classroom these days. Most of the things they do are directly on the internet. Can you see my screen, please? I think I'm. Hello?
I can see your screen, but I'm seeing Zoom.
Okay, that's the wrong slide. Hold on.
Yes.
Give me a moment. Okay, I presume you can see it better now.
Yes, it's better now. I can see your presentation.
Okay, good. So, first and foremost, safety and guidelines first. These are things that prevent exposure to harmful content. For instance, when you are talking about the children getting in contact with very explicit materials, materials that on a normal day they should not be exposed to, it's not everything we can be monitoring at a time. There are some certain times whereby you leave the phone with them just for them to get busy. And by the time you are back, you already see that they are getting into different websites showing them erotic and nonsense. So, like Mr. Faithful has said, there are basically three levels of protection. One is the device level, the next one is the network level, and the last one, which is always the easiest one to set up, is the application level. So most of the time, the operating system of any device has in protective measures. For instance, now Google Family Link. Now it manages app downloads and it limits the daily traffic that a device can interact with, that a device can have. Another very wonderful tool for those who are using the iOS platforms is Apple Screen Time. It can restrict communications and also restrict content. This is very, very native in the iOS operating system. Now, the perimeter for network level. Network level is one of the most efficient for any parent who is looking to totally make sure that their walls do not have any form of like bypassing of whatever protective measures they put. The network level is one of the most important because the network routers in your homes or MiFi are the ones that are the major gateway for any internet-based content. So by doing that, we make use of a system called DNS filtering. Now, all over the world, people have come together to set up certain kinds of DNS. It's like an IP address. So those DNS help you to automatically filter content. Whether they go to whatever bad site they want to go to, it will automatically block it. Even if they search it on Google, it will block it. So now we're going into the application level. Application level is very, very simple. Your YouTube, your Spotify, if you go to the settings, you can see where they have the restriction mode. Even when it comes to streaming and gaming, like for those who play Roblox or they are on Twitch, you can also restrict them. Now, when you are setting these things up, for those who love transparency, because most times it's advised that you don't tell them all the details because temptation is a very tricky thing. Understanding is key, yes, but sometimes temptation can get the best of your words and they can say, oh, maybe just one time, let me just see if I can deactivate this because I really, really need to see this content. So most times I always advise parents to keep the nitty-gritty details a secret, but not sugarcoating or misleading them to eventually not make them distrust you, but to just keep those technical details away from them. It's very important. So now, I would want to advise anyone who has their Android phone specifically to open up their app store, that's the Play Store, and type in the search bar application called Firewall AI. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So we have to
Hello.
go to our phones and look for Firewall AI, right?
Yes, open Play Store. I could demonstrate too with my phone right here so that everyone follows along.
Okay.
Let me briefly stop sharing. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see my screen, correct?
Yes. Yes, we can see your screen. Maybe I'll have to
awesome.
pin you so everyone can see.
Okay, awesome. So now you can just come here straight to the search and type for Firewall AI. Even I myself, as an individual, a full-grown adult, I use it because it helps me to keep unnecessary distractive apps at bay. So this is not just only for making sure that children don't see bad content. Even you as an individual, someone who loves to focus and keep your work tidy, you also use it to filter unnecessary traffic that comes into your phone. So go right there and just click search, and you see it comes up. This is it right here, Firewall AI. Right here. So when you click on install, I already have it installed, so I will just go straight to my own device here. And I'll show you how it is being set up. So the moment you have it installed, it's going to be like this. It has three major looks. These are applications. So applications list. Sorry, excuse me. Are you wanting to say something?
Sorry, I'll mute. I think she was unmuted actually. No. Sorry.
Okay, awesome. And we can continue. So now all the applications on your mobile device are listed here, from your Access Bank app, everything. So now you can actually restrict it based on Wi-Fi and based on mobile data. So by tapping on this, it is allowing this particular app to run through mobile data. So it's two ways. You can block complete app internet traffic.
All right. I'm sorry, Jeffrey.
You can. Hello. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. Can you give them a minute so that they can get their apps installed before we go ahead? So we have.
Awesome.
Yes.
Apologies for being too fast. Okay.
Yeah. So let's give them a minute to get their apps installed. Once they're installed, then we can now go ahead. So.
Okay. If anyone has done their installations, they can just give like a thumbs up to give us a head.
Someone can't see Firewall AI in the App Store.
Is it the Apple App Store?
Let me see.
Are you using an iOS or you're using an Android?
I think it's an iPhone.
Okay. There is a counterpart for Firewall AI.
So what should they search on the iPhone?
Yeah, so on the iPhone, it is Protect Star. They should type in Protect Star because it's the same company that produces Protect Star. Okay.
PROTECT.
Yes. STARAR. Yes. Protect Star Firewall AI. Yes. That is the one for iOS.
Can you type it in the chat? The one for the iPhone and the one for iOS, so that everyone can just go ahead and follow.
Okay. Thank you. I will do that now. Okay. So Protect Star. Yes. This is the major company that produces this. So on the iOS, it is labeled Firewall Analyzer Protect Star. Oh, good. Yes.
It's so beautiful. But you have a bug expected, Mr. Caterpillar. Yeah, you
All right, so for iOS, we have it in the chat now, a link to download so we can check it out. Well, I think Mrs. Bosse has it downloaded now.
Yes, that is it right there. Firewall Analyzer. Awesome. So Ms. Bosse, Dada, yes, she has a screenshot she just dropped in the chat. So that is it right there. So it's pretty much the same setup. I don't know if I can continue now. Do we have everyone on the same page now?
Yes, I think we can continue. It's going to be a recorded session, and at the end, we'll have it up on our YouTube, on Straight School's YouTube. So we can also share that recording with everyone so that we can still go ahead and do everything if we want to for various ones.
Okay. Okay, so now that we have, like I said, let me go back a little bit to just give a refresher. So now on this particular application, there are three basic levels. Now you can block internet traffic by apps. You can filter the internet traffic, and then these are the logs for you to go and check every now and then. Now, this application does a very wonderful thing that I like. You can actually go to the settings and make sure that whenever the phone is turned on, automatically it goes active. Even if the child decides to find a way to deactivate it, in the background, it will activate itself again. So you, the parents, can set it within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but I will just show you the basics here. So apps, like I said, to block the app one at a time. So if you can see this now, you can whitelist some certain apps so that in case if you want to block all the internet traffic, those particular applications will not be affected. Like for instance, now I will whitelist this my app. This is the Access Bank app. So under any circumstances, this app is given preferential treatment to work. It could be the Educare application or whatever learning platform that you don't want affected by this blocker. So that's what this app feature does. Now, the other wonderful aspect is the filters. So now these filters are of different types. If you want to disable tracking, if you want to disable international secret services monitoring your internet traffic, it's a wonderful application, like I said, from torrent to suspicious to TikTok privacy, fake shops. You can actually custom pick any one that you want. For instance, I can take, I don't want tracking and telemetry. I could take, good. I could take Protestar to save me from malware and spyware. I could take Protestar to like filter me from piracy when people are like trying to steal content from your devices. So now I will show you how to enable the Protect Star. Now it's just a simple button. Just toggle it on and it is live. So this DNS, it does so many things that even I myself, every now and then I feel like I don't know why a lot of people don't know this because it really saves me a lot of unnecessary encounter with malicious content. You know, these days everybody's trying to get likes, yeah, clickbait left, right, and center. So you have to use things like this to filter. For instance, now this is a log. So you can even go back and check if your child has attempted to bypass things. These are logs of websites that have been blocked. You can see right here, it says this connection was blocked. This was on Sunday, 25th January, all to the latter. So these are all methods you can use. You can even export them into files that you can use for auditing and whatever purpose you want. Now, that is all about setting up on the mobile level. So I would want to share my screen again on my desktop to show you how you can set up a simple DNS server that filters your entire internet. It's not just limited to the phone, it's the entire internet on your end, like the house. So it's very, very simple. I would have to give me a moment. Okay, so I will share my screen again now. Okay, can you see my screen now? Hello, can you see my screen?
We can
Hello.
see we can see your screen.
Okay, awesome. So now there is a wonderful website called my.nextdns.io. I'm going to put that in the chat right now. So anyone can go there, my.nextdns.io. Now, this is a very wonderful website that helps you to set up parental controls, privacy controls. It can also block applications. For instance, if you can see, sorry. Okay, good. Now, this is the setup. So the first screen you meet when you try to use NextDNS. Mind you, you have to create an account. It's like creating a Facebook account, just a regular online account. So once you've done that, you'll be given a unique DNS code. That DNS code is what you put into your router. It's a bit technical. After this, I believe we could send you a step-by-step process for those who are still a bit more very, very deep hands-on parents who want to actually get these things set up themselves. But if you know you can't do it, you can reach out to AI Robotics Innovation here, or reach out to Mr. Faithful. He will be able to get you someone who could guide you and also come and probably install it. So this is Next DNS. It gives you a group of IP addresses that you can input into your router, and it blocks internet automatically. You don't need to do anything more than that. Now there's parental controls. Now from TikTok all the way down to Tinder, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, ZK, you just name it. Even Roblox, just keep naming it. Wherever it is, Hulu, Vio, Steam, Netflix, wherever it is, even if you want to add a custom app or a custom website, anything, you can come here and add that. Now, you just activate the blockers by just toggling this button here. So this is toggled on, so anytime they want to get to Disney Plus, it can be blocked automatically. If you toggle it off, they will have access to Disney Plus. So this is for the parental control aspect. Now, when it comes to deny list, now a deny list is a group of lists that whenever it's trying to call up to a server from your device, it will be denied access. Now, this is Activision. For those of you who play Call of Duty, at least I believe some of our wards are always playing these first-person shooter games. They can be very addictive. I myself am a testament to that, but I've had it under control for a couple of years now. So Roblox as well, Discord, though Discord is an educational platform at a certain degree, it can also be a place where they can be exposed to extreme content. So on the allow list now is certain domains you want to allow only. Any other website that is not listed here will be denied access. So there are two ways. You can give a deny list. Every other thing can be accessed except this list, or you can use an allow list. Only this list of sites are accessible on your internet. In a way, this is one of the best because it also reduces how your data is consumed. So all those unnecessary ads that do pop up, they do consume our data. They consume it a lot. So you can actually use an allow list. It can extend the duration of your data usage, and also it's sure to make sure that beyond the scope of where you want your word to get connected on the internet, they don't go outside of that. Now, here is the analytics aspect. Now you can see number of queries. Now, for instance, now in straight A schools, we've installed a couple of DNS in the high school, the primary school, whereby almost all their traffic are being monitored. Now you can see right here, it says 145,864 queries have been blocked. That is roughly about 41.67% of queries so far. These queries are like a ping, like requests from your device to connect to a server online, and they've been blocked. So you can see them here. For instance, now these are the blocked domains. So we've disabled WhatsApp, some certain applications that are a bit sensitive with explicit content, or they are prone to be ads in them that have explicit content. So it will be flagged down. This is Spotify as well. This is YouTube. Now, YouTube is a very, very, very wonderful platform that can be used to train people, but at the same time, it can also expose students to unnecessary kind of risk. So now, when it comes to security, this is the security tab right here. Now, we can enable what we call threat intelligence feed. There are some links and phishing links that can just pop up. You don't know how it happened, but they are already there on your face. This, by toggling this on, it protects you from that. Now, this is an AI threat-driven detection. This is a beta feature that is currently in development by Next DNS. So by the time it's fully active, it will be a wonderful feature that you can tell it what you want it to do just by statements, and if you just do the rest, all this back and forth going to toggle, you won't have to do all that. It's AI. Now, when it comes to Google Safe Browsing, even if they go to a different browser incognito, use a VPN, and they want to search that erotic site or whatever, it will block it. it will block it completely. That means if you want to test it, you can come to straight day schools and you try it, you won't be able to access any of those sites. But the moment you switch to your personal data that doesn't have those protections, you can probably access it. But you can also put that on your mobile phone by just inserting the DNS, like I said. So now when it comes to specific websites that have things like child sexual abuse material, top level domains, past domains, and also some dynamic host host names. Because there are some websites that can change their host name so that you don't detect them. This now does that blocking. It can detect when the website is trying to be like a chameleon. It's trying to change into a different domain extension, so it does not get blocked by all these DNS protection. So that is one of the good things about it. I see my internet is a bit shaky. I don't know if you can hear me clearly. Please signify.
We can hear you clearly, Jeffrey.
Awesome. So that's basically what you can do for network level and device level. This is the next DNS. It's a very wonderful system that you can just use. All you need to do is get these IP addresses, these two specifically, go onto your router and just insert them. Even on your mobile phone, you can go to data, go to where you have your internet provider, what they call it, proxy, exactly, and just insert these two lines. 45.90, I can actually just paste this right here. You can also use this one as well and partake in the free blocking as well. I'll paste this in the chat for anyone who is tech savvy enough to have that done on their routers. So these are DNS1 and DNS2. So I just have them pasted on the chat now. So that's basically all for having to set up app level and network level and also device level. This DNS does both network level and device level. So on any device, be it mobile, be it laptop, be it desktop, be it a tablet, the next DNS is very effective. And it's also effective network-wide in an entire organization or in the house. So I believe if there's any questions anyone has, I'm open to answer their questions. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jeffrey. So like he said, he has dropped our DNS servers in the chat. If you are tech savvy enough and you want to install these DNS blockers on the routers you have in your homes, you can feel free to use our custom-made DNS settings. We have it hosted on the server he sent. So if you can put that into your internet, if you're using a Starlink, you could just, it's as easy as just going into your settings and pasting that there. Or if you're using Wi-Fi, or if you're using Fiber One, any of those internets, you could set those up in your routers at home. But if you also want to set in the device level, you could do that with the apps, the applications we've also set here, the Firewall AI, and it's as simple as that. If you need the steps again to maybe you want to run through the process on your own, we are going to have a recording for here from this video if to be up on our YouTube in the next, say, next hour after the meeting is ended. So please also reach out to anyone at the school or at SME if you still need any assistance, maybe setting it up at your homes or any more advice you would want. So we will take any questions from now till our time will be up by 8 p.m. and thank God we're able to keep some time. So if there's any questions, anything you feel we should talk about. Jeff, what do you think about the questions in the poll we sent? So we had people say something about how they feel it is important to block their children from having access without even talking to them about it. And some people were for the opinion that they need to be open about it as well. So what do you think, Jeffrey?
In my experience, because I've had to set up a lot of blockers for parents, one thing I've come to understand, if you have an inquisitive child, you have a child who is very, very logical and he knows how to piece one and two together without any assistance, you might lose their trust without telling them. Now, you need to know the kind of child you have. If it's a child that, when you guys communicate, you guys have this kind of trust and assurance that you will stand by your word. I believe the best method for that kind of child is to explain to them the dangers that they are exposed to if they don't have this protection. Because no child will hear that I will be prone to be molested or I'll be targeted or I'll be kidnapped and they will still put their head into it. They will actually want to play safe. It's just like telling a child, oh, don't take things from strangers. When you're coming back from school, just walk straight to the house. If anyone calls you, ignore. You see, they follow that to the letter. And when strangers try to call them, they're like, oh, no, leave me alone, not my mommy. Stuff like that. So in a way, the communication is key. And knowing the personality of your word is key. Are they the type that are logical, that if you tell them, that this is how it is, they will respect it. Though they might be tempted, but at least you are transparent and they will respect. Nobody, even no matter how young a child is, will not respect the fact that you hold them in high regard and you believe in their ability to do things. Self-esteem and self-assurance is one thing we need to build into our children. And we can't do that by keeping them in the dark. Sometimes. But sometimes you have to do the necessary thing by not saying anything. That's if you know that it won't be a big issue. So that's my own take on it. So just know the kind of child you have, know the kind of word you have, and just craft your strategy of security settings, parental controls, according to the kind of child you have. So that's my own take from the entire issue.
Thank you very much. So in the chat, someone is requesting the recording. Yeah, we said the recording will be up on our YouTube in the next hour, immediately the meeting ends. So yes, thank you very much, Jeffrey, for your contribution. And I think the same too. I think it's very important we understand the kind of children we work with. Context is very, very important in things like this. We need to know whether our children are nefarious. Remember the person who brought their child and said, oh, please install blockers, and I do not want him to know because he is very, very, very tricky and he will be able to bypass it because he's tech savvy. So we need to understand the type of children we have, and we need to understand that trust is something we should build, especially in things like this, because it's almost scary the way technology advances every single day. In a day, there are like various tools coming out that various ways, various tactics, even the scammers are growing in their tactics as well. So it needs to be something we are at the forefront of, and we understand that it is not us versus them, it's not us against them, it is us and them against the world. So we need to build that trust with the children that makes them come to us as their partners rather than as their enemies. So thank you everyone once again for joining us today. The tech security series is going to be holding once a month. So try to try to join. We will always announce when it's coming up and the topic that will be coming up. If you also have suggestions, the things you'd want us to discuss, things you'd want us to also train on, please do not hesitate to send us a mail and we would add that to our bank of topics, things we need to discuss about. Jeffrey, do you have something to say before I end the meeting?
Yes, pretty much the fact that you've blocked your child from accessing this explicit content doesn't mean they will not be able to channel their energy into other means. So I think one of the key things here, and one of the reasons why this is set up, is that on subsequent webinars, we'll be showing you constructive ways you can channel that curiosity that your child has into more productive means. So they can be in diverse interests. It could be animations, it could be electronics, it could be robotics, it could be setting up complex neural network systems, learning from machines and machines learning from them. And they could actually channel that energy. So, because most times, the reason why these kids are determined is because it's a challenge. Nobody here who feels challenged and feels that he's capable of conquering that challenge will not endeavor in it. So you've blocked it, you've blocked your child from the specific content. You still need to put them in a constructive environment that gives them productivity with their energy. So from subsequent times, we'll be showing you most of these techniques and showing you ways you can channel your child's enthusiasm. Because I believe the reason why parents are here is because they see the potential their children have for countering most of their blockades. Let me use that word. So that's all. Thank you all. It's a wonderful time. Thank you all so much. And thank you, Mr. Faithful. It's been wonderful with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank
Good
you
night,
very
everyone.
much, Jeffrey. Thank you. Good night, everyone. See you again soon. We'll announce when the next episode would. Good night, everyone.